Hi, I'm Maria and this is the Agile State of Mind. Welcome! To me, Daily Scrum, along with the sprint goal, are fundamental Scrum practices. The daily occurs every single day of our sprint, so we better make it worth our while. Today, I would like to explain an alternative way to do the Daily Scrum, a practice that is called walk the board or walk the wall. And this is an idea of doing daily Scrum with Kanban philosophy. Before we go there, don't forget to like and subscribe and click on that little bell icon for notifications. And now, with no further ado, let's see how to do walk the board. Scrum and Kanban don't have to be enemies or frenemies. We know that already, right? We don't have to think about a Scrum versus Kanban. It's time we moved on and accepted a Scrum with Kanban. The Kanban guide for Scrum teams explains how to do it. I personally like to add some Kanban practices to Scrum framework to help the teams optimize the flow. And now let's see how to use the Kanban philosophy on the daily Scrum. Manage the work and let people self-organize around it. Have you ever heard about Essential Kanban Condensed? This little book, available online, explains Kanban method, philosophy, and principles. One of them says, manage the work, let people self-organize around it. And now let's take a look at the traditional daily. What happens there? Everyone gives an update, right? Moreover, as the team members want to look good, they would mention everything they did the previous day, right? All the meetings included. This kind of update is of little value for other team members, not to mention the sprint goal. The daily serves to plan the day towards reaching the sprint goal, and not to hear the status update of every team member. On top of it, in this setup, if you look at the board, you will see some items that haven't been mentioned at all, in spite of being in progress. What happens here? Are we managing the people instead of the work? The activity of walking the board helps us shift the attention from the people to the work we want to deliver. Kanban Guide for Scrum Teams talks about active management of work in progress. And when you think about it from the business value point of view, it makes a lot of sense. A principle from investment world, net present value, says that the money now is more valuable than the money later on. Why? Because you can use the money to make more money. Thus, finishing something today provides more value for the end user than finishing something tomorrow or by the end of the sprint. And what do the Scrum teams do for a living? They provide value for the customer and the company, right? Right? So how can we ensure that we provide value sooner than later? Guess what? There is a Kanban principle for that too. And it says, stop starting, start finishing. Let's start finishing the user stories during the sprint and not wait until the end of it so the PO can close them on the sprint review. I saw that happening in some teams, and this is an anti-pattern. When you finish something, close it. And before starting something new, first check with the team if you can help finishing something else. Start your daily by reviewing the work you have in progress on your Scrum board. Work in progress is any work that has been started and hasn't been finished. Even though one even says in progress, all of them are in progress until they get done. Walking the board means starting from what's closest to get done and checking if this can be done today and walking towards what has just been started. So you go from right to left on your board, reviewing every single item you have in progress. This way, you can focus on finishing something today. You can even ask the question at the beginning, what can we finish today? And let the team self-organize to get it done. Once the team has a plan to deliver something today, move on and address all the issues that you have in progress. Check what's going on in each and every one of them. In case there are some blocked issues, try to unblock them. An important thing about impediments or blockers: any issue that has been started and got blocked is an issue in progress. I've seen many workarounds when the teams created a special column for the blocked issues, for example. Is blocked a new state of your workflow? Do all items pass through it at the same stage? And what if there are two issues blocked? One got blocked during the development here, and the other one got blocked in the ready for QA because you had a problem with the testing environment. How do you manage that? Evidently, to unblock an issue, it would be helpful to know at which stage it got blocked, don't you think? Don't move it. Flag it in the state that it got blocked, like this and like this. Rotate the role of the facilitator of the Walk the Board Daily Scrum. It has so many advantages. Everyone gets to understand what's going on for the whole team, and the development team becomes the real owner of the daily. What we do in some teams is to rotate the facilitation on a weekly basis. Of course, it can be done daily or per sprint, whatever works for your team. A product owner came to me once with a problem with the visibility of the progress towards the sprint goal in this setup. It is true that the items in the sprint backlog should be ordered by the priority and that the team members shouldn't be working on something that's low on the to-do list. But things happen. What's more, we sometimes might lose track about the progress towards sprint goal if we only check what's in progress and not what's still to be done. There are various solutions to this problem. In one team, we start the daily with 2 questions before moving on to the rest of the work in progress items. 1. What can we finish today? And 2. How are we going towards meeting the sprint goal? In another team, we created swim lanes on the board according to the priority and time of resolution of the issues. You can check Service Level Expectation, SLE, in the Kanban guide for Scrum teams. So how does that work? The swim lanes are horizontal lines that divide different kinds of work items. The top swim lane we called Expedite, and it showed up only if we had a fire that's a blocking issue on production that needs immediate attention and less than 24 hours resolution. The second swim lane grouped all the items that made up the sprint goal. These items will amount to a different percentage in your sprint backlog, and that's okay. From my experience, the important thing is to have a North Star, a sprint goal that we want to accomplish as a team. It will guide the team in priority definition, and achieving it will make them feel good about themselves. The dopamine effect that I mentioned in my video about the sprint planning. The third swim lane displayed everything else that we have in the sprint, and the team does their best to deliver it. This way, the team can visually distinguish which items belong to which category and understand their priority. There are different ways to conduct a daily scrum, and that's good because there are different teams out there with different needs. The Scrum Guide says the structure of the meeting is set by the development team, and it can be conducted in different ways if it focuses on progress toward the sprint goal. I recommend walking the board if the team clearly struggles with the classical 3 questions. The symptom of that would be that the dailies take forever and the team members don't pay attention to each other, waiting for their turn only. Experiment, evaluate, and decide if you want to keep it or keep iterating until you find your best fit. And that's all for today. Thanks for watching, and remember, think about what can you finish today? Bye bye!